You just won a contest you don't remember entering. The prize? A one-way trip to ancient Rome. No luggage. No phone. No idea what you're doing. 1 second you're standing in your kitchen arguing with your toaster. The next second, bright light, weird smell, and suddenly you're standing in the middle of a dusty street, wearing a bedsheet, and a man is yelling at you in a language you don't speak. Welcome to the year 250 AD. And oh, you've managed to land during the single worst time in Roman history to be alive. Not the Golden Age. Not the gladiator movie era. You've landed in the crisis of the 3rd century, a 50-year stretch where Rome had roughly one emperor per Tuesday. The economy was collapsing, and barbarians were lining up at the border like it was a buffet. So the question isn't what happened in Rome. The question is, could you survive it? Let's see. Honestly, I already have doubts. You're standing in a street that smells like a gym sock left in a sauna. Merchants are shouting. Kids are running. Someone just threw something out of a window that you really hope is water. A merchant grabs your arm mid-thought and starts shouting in Latin. No idea what he's saying, so you smile politely. He smiles back. Then he doubles the price of whatever he's selling, because you clearly just teleported in from somewhere, and he can smell tourist on you from 10 feet away. You don't even have money yet. He shrugs, unimpressed, and wanders off to go scam somebody who does. You find a bakery. You point at the roasted meat hanging in the window like a hopeful idiot. The baker laughs, actually laughs, right in your face, and hands you a bowl of grey wheat porridge instead. Fair enough. Honestly, I'd probably laugh too. It's called pulse, and it tastes exactly like it sounds. Welcome to being poor in Rome. You eat it anyway. Solved. Sort of. Well, not really. A kid, maybe 10 years old, moving faster than anyone that small should be able to, bumps into you, apologizes in Latin, and vanishes into the crowd with the 1 coin you were just handed as change. Robbed. On day 1. By someone shorter than your knee. Yeah, that happened. You now also need a bathroom, because stress does that. The public toilets are stone benches with holes cut side by side, no walls, so you and 11 strangers do your business together like some kind of horrifying team-building retreat. There's no toilet paper. There's a sponge. On a stick. Shared. By everyone. Sit with that for a second. I did. A guard walks past and mutters something that's almost certainly an insult about your bedsheet. You don't ask. You desperately need to bathe now. The public baths are actually gorgeous. Hot rooms, cold plunges, steam everywhere. Except the water isn't changed constantly, so you're basically marinating in a soup of other people's body oil. Somebody nearby is getting shaved. Somebody else is getting a full massage. And 2 guys near the wall are having a full-volume political argument. Completely naked, like this is a normal place to do that. It is, apparently. Nobody else even looks up. You climb out smelling like a candle that gave up on life. Now here's the part where Rome decides one disaster a day isn't enough. You've arrived during a real historical nightmare, the Plague of Cyprian, an outbreak ripping through the empire during this exact crisis, killing thousands a day in some cities. Doctors here don't believe in germs. They believe in bad air and unbalanced bodily fluids, so their solution to almost everything, including this, is bloodletting, draining blood out with a knife the size of your forearm. Which does not cure the plague. It just adds bleeding to your problem list. You don't get sick. Somehow. You're now, statistically, outperforming a large chunk of the Roman Empire. Which, low bar, but you'll take it. Still broke, though. Still no roof over your head. You need a job fast, because sleeping in the street sounds like a free robbery. The economy right now is in absolute freefall. Emperors keep mixing cheap metal into the coins to stretch the silver supply. And prices are spiraling so hard that bread costs twice as much this month as last month. Your options, laborer, craftsman, soldier, or a contract that looks suspiciously like slavery in a nicer outfit. You pick laborer. The foreman doesn't ask your name. He hands you a brick. Then another. Then another. Within 20 minutes you're carrying a stack of bricks taller than you are, wobbling down the street, while a chicken calmly strolls past like you're the strange one in this scenario. You get a bed that night. Food. A job. And for one very brief, very foolish moment, you think, maybe I'll actually survive this. You will not. Because walking home in the pitch dark, down a street with 0 streetlights and 0 real police, someone jumps out of an alley, looks at your bedsheet, looks at your 1 coin, and decides you're worth mugging. You hand it over. No choice. The closest thing to law enforcement here is a night watchman whose entire job description is prevent fires, not prevent this. Broke again. 3rd time today. You're starting to notice a theme, and the theme is, nothing here stays solved. You survived hunger. You survived disease. You survived getting robbed twice by people significantly smaller than you. You are, weirdly, doing better than a lot of Rome right now. Then, knock knock. Rome has one more way to ruin your week, and it's the big one. Because the empire isn't just falling apart economically. It's under attack. Persians are pushing in from the east, and, much more relevant to you, specifically, right now, a group of Germanic tribes called the Goths are pressing in from the north. You just got conscripted. Nobody asked. You're handed a shield, a short sword called a gladius, and a piece of armor that clearly belonged to someone who did not survive their last shift wearing it. A veteran named Marcus looks you up and down, glances at your suspiciously clean, unscratched armor, snorts, and says, "You won't keep it clean," before walking off without another word. Nobody explains formation strategy. Nobody hands you a manual. Your entire training is 3 instructions. Don't die, stay in line, copy the guy next to you. You march for days. A donkey blocks the road for a solid 20 minutes and nobody, including the donkey, seems to care. Your feet develop blisters with their own personalities. You eat more porridge. You sleep in a tent surrounded by people who snore like buildings collapsing in slow motion. Oh, and did you know some Roman apartment buildings, back in the city, were 6 or 7 stories tall, and occasionally just collapsed because the developers cut corners? No relevance to you right now. Just, good to know Rome was falling apart in more ways than one. Then, one morning, word comes down the line. The Goths are close. Everything you've survived so far was the tutorial. This is the actual level. You're standing in formation. Shield up. Sword ready. The soldier next to you is shaking slightly, and it takes you a second to realize it's you. Across the field, the Goths are forming their own lines. A horn sounds behind you.